Hi, and welcome to the 7th of this series of videos for volunteers who are creating the Maryborough website. In this video, I'm going to return to the post that we were creating earlier, but now I'm going to look at creating a table within this post. Now, the table I'm going to show you can be used for holding links to all the minutes of your meetings, or it could be used for anything where you want things to appear in columns and in rows. Now, you may remember that in the very first video, I showed you how to import an image into WordPress. If you have your minutes in a PDF format, you can load them into the media library in exactly the same way as you imported an image. And it was a good idea to do this before you create your table, as you can then make this a more seamless process. I'm now scrolling down to the bottom of the post that I've created. Again, I'm going to create a new container, and I'm going to put the table into this container. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the post and I'm going to drop my container in it. I'm going to want it just one column, so I'm going to select that, and I'm going to make the container width boxed because I don't want it to appear the full width of the screen. What I now want to do is I'm going to add a table into here. So I'm going to search for table in the search bar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my table over and I'm going to drop it into the container. So the first thing that we're going to be asked is how many columns do we want this to have? So I'm going to say 12 columns. And I'm also going to have just one row. And then once I do that, I'm going to click and create my table. Now this looks a bit odd because normally you would actually have a header row that tells you what's in each column. And then the second row would normally be the details that you want to give people. But if we come over to the right hand side of our screen, we see that we've got a header section here. So if I switch that on, that's actually going to give me that first row with the headings in it. So what I can do is I can now start typing in all the months of the year. So that's us finished entering all the months of the year. Now what we want to do is we want to come into the second row and we're going to put in the date of our meeting. And I'm just going to put in fictitious meetings at the moment. Once we do that, what we can do is we can actually add a link here to the date of that meeting. So if we come out, select the date, and then if we come up to link on this toolbar, so what I can do is I click on that, and then what I can do is I can start typing in the date of some of the meetings that I've got. And it goes away and searches for all of these that I have, and I can come down and I can pick that one. Now, when we do that, we can gradually over the year fill in each of these. If we have 2 meetings in a year, that's not really much of a problem. What we can do is we can then hit our return key, put in a different date, and I'm just going to pick up a fictitious or one of our other minutes that's not on this date. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to click on the link, and then I'm going to select another set of minutes. So as the year progresses, what we can do is then gradually fill this table up. If there's any months we tend to put in, just type in there and we would say no meeting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Save Draft to save this. What you might want to do is after you've saved it, you want to have a look and view it. So what we can do is we can actually click this to preview in a new tab, and that'll actually generate the preview for us, and then we can have a look and we can see our table coming in. When we move over one of the dates, we'll see it changing to see that it's a link. When we click on that, it will then pull away the minutes and it'll let us see those. And that's our minutes coming up. I can then just click on close to close that down to get rid of it.